Coming up on Citrus TV News, the safety measures DPS is taking to ensure South Campus is safe while students are away on winter break.
We mourn the loss of an American hero and remember the legacy he leaves behind.
A new report on the potential dangers of e-cigarettes and how one surgeon is fighting for changes that may discourage consumer use.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Jackie Prager.
And I'm Alex Amico. Campus officials are preparing for students to leave for winter break, and that's our top story tonight.
Students may be worried about safety when leaving their South Campus apartments over winter break, but Shoshana Stahl shows us there's nothing to be worried about.
South Campus safety should not be a concern for students living there. The Office of Residence Life and the Department of Public Safety are taking extra measures to protect the apartments over break. Students should lock all doors and all windows before leaving for winter break. Any non-students found inside the apartments will be asked to leave by DPS.
I live on South Campus in the University Village apartments, and over break, I feel like there's going to be a lot of security. Right by my apartments, they close a gate, so you can't get in from the side road. You have to go over by the security booth, and then you have to have a key to get into the building and a key to get into the actual apartment, plus a key to get into the bedroom. So with all the different points of access and all the keys you need, I definitely feel like my stuff will be safe, even for the whole month that we're going to be there.
DPS will conduct rounds to check up on the apartments over break. Heat and hot water will also be turned off during break as a way to save the university money. If students have any questions, they can contact the Department of Public Safety or the Office of Residence Life. Shoshana Stahl, Citrus TV News.
The only open entrance to South Campus over break will be through the sky top entrance gate.
Well, new changes are coming to the promenade. You'll see new seating along the walkway from Newhouse to Byrd Library. The new seating will include granite blocks topped by wooden surfaces. The current promenade furniture will be moved to other places on campus, and installation will begin this summer. Speakers from MIT and Solarize Central New York will be speaking on campus about the drivers of renewable energy. The session is part of the Top Down, Bottom Up series on climate solutions. All are welcome to attend tonight at 7 p.m. in the Kittredge Auditorium.
A world-renowned neurobiologist is visiting campus today. Stanford neurobiology professor Carlos Schatz delivered a lecture earlier at Lyman Hall. The event was presented by the Humanities Center. Professor Schatz will lead a research seminar on campus tomorrow. Syracuse a cappella groups are showcasing their talent at tonight's after-hours concert. The event will be held at Goldstein Auditorium from 9 to 11 p.m. It features groups such as the Mandarins, Main Squeeze, Orange Appeal, Auto Tunes, Oi Capella, and Groove Stand.
The Syracuse University Black Celestial Choral Ensemble will be presenting its Christmas showcase at Hendricks Chapel. The event is scheduled for tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale at the Shine Student Center for $2 with an SUID. Canned food donations will be collected at the event. The Office of Multicultural Affairs is holding a slam poetry event tonight. Students will be reading original work in 2 rounds to compete for first, second, and third place. Entries will be judged for originality, stage presence, content, delivery, and time. The event will begin at 7:30 at the Shine Student Center Underground. And the Nexus Student Research Lab is hosting an end of the semester technology showcase tomorrow from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Students will show off the projects they've been working on all semester. All students are welcome to attend at the Icebox on the 2nd floor of Hines Hall.
Police are still looking for a man who robbed a store clerk at gunpoint last night. The police say a man entered the convenience store Munchies on Syracuse's west side and demanded money. He stole nearly $1,000 in cash and fled the scene. Police are investigating after a Syracuse man was stabbed under a railroad bridge. A 37-year-old man was found near King and Temple Streets on the city's south side Wednesday evening. The man was taken to Upstate University Hospital. Police say that his injuries are not life-threatening. A state watchdog agency says that an Onondaga County inmate's death could have been prevented. Chanel Lacatozes died in jail in 2014, 2 days after her arrest. The Commission of Correction found that Lacatozes' death could have been prevented by routine checkups and if officials had provided her with addiction withdrawal medication. Lacatozes' family is currently suing the county and health care provider over her death.
Next on Citrus TV News, some bad news for animal lovers. We'll tell you what species is now at risk of extinction.
Feared Hawaii after an earthquake in the Pacific.
Snow flirted with campus earlier today, but we only received a few bands of lake effect snow. 36 degrees was our high, 24 was the low, with a few snow drifts across campus. The big story, however, is the wind coming out of the west at 25 miles per hour. Coming up, I'm tracking a lake effect snow advisory that begins at 10 o'clock tonight in my Citrus TV 5-day forecast.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
John Glenn, the first American astronaut to orbit the Earth, passed away on Thursday. Glenn was 95. He served in the Korea War with the Marines as a fighter pilot.
Following the war, Glenn became a test pilot and set numerous records. Glenn also had a long political career in the U.S. Senate, including a failed run for the presidency. He returned to space at the age of 77, making him the oldest astronaut in space. The House passed a bill today to keep the government running through April, but it faces opposition in the Senate. Democrats want a better deal for the extension of coal miner benefits and to change water infrastructure laws.
The legislation was unveiled on Tuesday and must be passed by tomorrow at midnight. The warehouse in California that caught fire had not been inspected in nearly 40 years. The city had also received complaints about the warehouse where 36 people were killed.
The building's structure was damaged in another fire in 1988. The Oakland Fire Department said the building had no fire suppression system. The leaseholder has apologized to the victims' families. Donald Trump plans to nominate CEO Andy Puzder to be his labor secretary. Puzder is the CEO of CKE Restaurants, which is the parent company of burger chains Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Puzder supported Trump's plans to deregulate the economy. He is a supporter of keeping the federal minimum wage low and has previously praised the idea of restaurant automation. President-elect Donald Trump and the president of the Carrier Corporation Union are not getting along. Trump claimed that the deal to keep the Indianapolis factory open would save more than 1,000 jobs.
But union leader Chuck Jones said Trump's numbers were inflated.
A lot of the people in that crowd and throughout the plant thought they were, at that point in time, were going to have a job, only to find out when we told them the next day that 550 of them were going to lose their job to Monterrey, Mexico.
Questioned his claims, Trump tweeted this message. The president-elect said Jones has done a terrible job. Today, Jones is standing by his comments.
Michigan's recount of presidential votes is over after a judge said he had to follow the decision of the Michigan Appeals Court. The court found that the Green Party candidate Jill Stein could not seek a recount because she only got 1% of the state vote and presented no evidence of voting fraud.
A recount is still going on in Wisconsin, and Stein is seeking one in Pennsylvania as well. Trump won both of those states. Today is the second day of Dylan Roof's death penalty trial. Roof is facing charges for shooting 9 black parishioners at a church in South Carolina.
Today, the judge denied Roof's request for a mistrial. Charleston Police Sergeant Dan English showed more than 20 video clips taken from surveillance cameras at the church. Authorities report that there are 2 casualties following a vehicle pileup on the Michigan interstate. Michigan State Police blame the ice and slippery conditions for the 30-vehicle crash.
It forced the closure of the highway in both directions. Mid-Michigan is expected to get a few more inches of snow in the coming weeks. Hawaii is on edge today after an earthquake in the Pacific. The U.S. Geological Survey says that a 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit the Pacific Solomon Islands.
Officials issued tsunami warnings for Hawaii, but then lifted them. However, the center cautioned that tsunami waves were still possible on some of the islands. There are currently no reports of damage or injuries from the earthquake. Officials say a 6.5 magnitude earthquake hit off of North Carolina coast. The quake struck west of Ferndale just before 7 this morning.
The quake slowed some Bay Area transit trains. No damages or injuries were reported. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad says the Syrian forces' victory in the battle for Aleppo will be a considerable gain for the government, but may not end the country's civil war. Assad also said in an interview that he will no longer consider any truce offers for the war.
Officials evacuated people from the city yesterday. More than 148 disabled civilians, among others, were able to escape. Bombings continued today. Biologists say that the giraffe is now at risk of extinction. The giraffe population has shrunk nearly 40% in 30 years.
Its status has changed to threatened and endangered on the official watch list. The animal was previously a species of least concern. Scientists say that the habitat loss has caused the giraffe population to decline. The city of Paris has decided to auction off the love locks that decorate a famous bridge. The city stopped people from putting locks on the bridge last year.
The city will auction the locks off to raise funds for migrants. Around 150 locks will be sold at the city, and the city expects to raise about 100,000 euros. The auction will begin in the spring of 2017. And after this short break, the results are in from the largest ever survey of transgender Americans, and what researchers learned may shock you.
Also, new statistics from the federal government show that average life expectancy in the country has fallen. What scientists say could be the cause.
We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet. Oh,
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The The second substantial snowfall of the season is expected to begin tonight.
Citrus TV weather anchor Brendan Tierney joins us now with how the snow will affect students as they begin to leave campus for winter break. Brendan?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, perfect snowmaking weather across the region right now. We're checking at 33 here in Syracuse, 29 down in Cortland, and 31 in Binghamton. So we're below or at that 32-degree mark, which means, as we take a look at your current radar, all blue, which means snow. No more rain that we have been experiencing for most of the week. Nice white powder instead of any of that wintry mix. This is part of a much larger system. As you take a look at your surface analysis map, you're able to see a cold front with a low pressure system that's bringing that moisture off the Great Lakes and bringing the snow to our area. And that's what's causing our snow advisory over the next few days. Your future radar shows snow moving through the area, a couple heavier bands coming down from the lakes. It's really hard to judge when they're coming through. It all has to do with the wind patterns that we're looking at throughout the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. The advisory ends at 7 a.m. Saturday morning, so most of the heavy snow should be out of here by then, but we're looking at about between 4 and 8 inches of snow by time all of that is over. Your Citrus TV 5-day forecast will come up in a second, but first tonight, 25 degrees, snow 3 to 5 inches will be coming through the area. The big story, however, is that wind chill. We're looking at 7 degrees, so definitely bundle up if you're heading out tonight. More than a half hour outside and some exposed skin might get a little bit of frostbite. Now for that 5-day forecast, 30 degrees tomorrow, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday, 1 to 2 inches for the Syracuse basketball game against Boston University, 30 degrees. The snow chance should be weaning by Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday, it's looking like we have another chance for that wintry mix.
So Brendan, first big snow since we've gotten here. I'm already kind of sick of it. When is it going to be out of here finally?
Well, it looks like it will be out of here by Monday or Tuesday. Definitely out of here if you're heading out Wednesday or Thursday.
But what about, is it going to melt away by then, or will we still be seeing it?
That's the hard question. Depends how much snow we get and how cold it is at night. If it freezes into ice at night, the big piles of snow, it's not going to be out of here even by the time the Georgetown game comes around next Saturday.
Well, let's hope it's gone so everyone can travel home safely.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
A new study finds that life expectancy is dropping in the United States. According to the federal government, the U.S. death rate has increased for the first time in a decade. On average, the overall life expectancy for someone born in 2015 fell from 78.9 years to 78.8 years. Officials say this drop can be attributed to increased deaths from heart disease and strokes. The biggest ever survey of transgender Americans shows a picture of discrimination and harassment. With more than 27,000 responses, the survey shows that 40% of those people attempted suicide at one point, and almost 1/3 of the people don't use public restrooms to avoid confrontations. This new survey showed little improvement in a transgender person's day-to-day experience with bias.
A new report from the Surgeon General about the use of e-cigarettes. The rate of use in children and teens has risen significantly, with the rate of use in middle school students rising from 0.6% to 5.3%. Officials recommend implementing price and tax policies which would discourage the use of the products. A new bill passed in Congress focuses on mental health. The 21st Century Cures Act was approved by Congress yesterday and is awaiting President approval. This act is the most significant piece of mental health legislation since 2008. The bill includes provisions to fight the opioid epidemic, strengthening laws mandating equal coverage for mental health and physical health care, and includes grants to increase the number of psychologists and psychiatrists in the U.S.
The city of Portland voted yesterday to impose a surtax on certain companies. Companies will have to pay a tax if their chief executives are paid a certain amount more than their employees. The tax will take effect next year. Portland Mayor Charlie Hales is an outspoken proponent of the bill, and he said that local action in cities like Portland would help bridge income inequality. Troubles mount for retailers Sears and Kmart as the company posted losses for another quarter. Sears Holdings closed 82 Kmart stores and 7 Sears stores in 3 months. The company now has fewer than 2,000 open stores. Sears Holdings has lost about $10 billion since 2011. The company announced earlier that it was looking for buyers for its brands Kenmore, Craftsman, and Die Hard.
Now Citrus TV's Chris Benson has a look at what's coming up in sports. Chris?
Thanks, guys. A Syracuse wide receiver hauled in some national awards, and Jim Boeheim says he wants one player to step it up in Saturday's game against Boston University. All that and more. We've got sports coming back in 90 seconds.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
If you see news happening on campus in Syracuse or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom 315-443-1177 or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Syracuse basketball forward Tyler Lydon came into the 2016 season with high expectations. The sophomore was named to the Naismith Player of the Year watch list this fall after the country watched him excel in last year's NCAA tournament. But so far, Tyler Lydon has struggled. The forward has failed to post double-digit points in the last 3 games, and the Orange's offense has stagnated as a result. Coach Jim Boeheim and the team have one message for the sophomore: you got to shoot the ball.
He's just got to keep playing, and he's got to look to shoot the ball. I think he took 7 shots, and he passed up 10. So I'd like him to shoot 17 shots, and if he only makes 2 or 3 of them, that's fine. But he's got to shoot the ball in those situations.
He's learning, and I mean, obviously everybody wants perfection from Tyler right now. He's still kind of figuring things out with all of the new personnel we have, but he has the green light to shoot. He's one of our most skilled players. So if he puts up a shot, we'll bank on it going in. So that's we need to instill more confidence in him to make sure he's taking those shots.
Tyler Lydon and Syracuse have a chance to get back into the win column on Saturday when Boston University visits the Carrier Dome. The Orange has let to lose at home this year. Tip-off is at noon. And yesterday, SU wideout Amba Edetawu became the first player since 1997 to be named to Sporting News' All-American team. Edetawu racked up 1,400 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns on his way to second-team honors. In 2016, the grad transfer set the single-season school record for receptions, receiving yards, 100-yard games, and tied the record for touchdowns. Now Edetawu will try to earn a spot on a professional roster. The wideout declared for the draft and will participate in the Senior Bowl this January. Moving on to the NBA, last night the Knicks took a punch to the gut at the hand of the Cavaliers. New York lost 129-94, snapping a 4-game winning streak. Cleveland's big 3 of LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love combined for 74 points in the contest. It's the largest margin of defeat for the Knicks this season at 32 points. And the Nets, on the other hand, they got a rare taste of victory against the Nuggets. Brooklyn Lopez's 24 points helped propel Brooklyn to 6-15 on the season. We'll see if the Nets can make it 2 in a row when they travel to San Antonio tomorrow. The Spurs have the best record in the West at 18-4. Staying in the Big Apple, the Islanders and the Rangers are both in action tonight. The Rangers will try to extend their lead atop the Metropolitan Division on the road against the Jets. Left wing Nick Rick Nash, won't suit up for the Rangers tonight because of a groin injury. The Islanders, meanwhile, have been hanging tough this week against some of the best teams in hockey. They'll have another chance to test their mettle against the red-hot Blues in the Barclays Center. The Isles take the ice at 7, and the puck drops for the Rangers in Winnipeg at 8. To baseball, there's some big news if you're a Yankees fan. The team announced it reached a 5-year, $86 million deal with star closer Aroldis Chapman. Chapman returns to New York after being traded to the Cubs in July. The closer is known for his incredible velocity on his fastball. In his career, he's thrown over 2,000 pitches, topping 100 miles an hour. That's triple the amount of the rest of the league combined. And turning to football, the Chiefs and the Raiders square off in a crucial divisional matchup in Kansas City tonight. Oakland is currently the top seed in the AFC at 10-2, but KC isn't far behind. The Chiefs sit at 9-3. The Raiders linebacker Khalil Mack has a shot at some history. A sack tonight would give him 1 in 8 straight games, which would be a new franchise record. And guys, this is a big game with some history. The Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs have been playing all the way since the start of the NFL merger. So
one of the biggest rivalries in the league.
It's huge. It's going to be a big game tonight.
Now, looking at SU basketball on Saturday, what are you looking for from them against Boston?
Well, their offense has been struggling so much. Tyler Lyon's been part of the reason, but their ability to shoot the ball has been so poor. It's going to be interesting if they can be on this slow streak, keep riding it out through the rest of the year, if they're going to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, definitely stay tuned.
Yes, for sure.
Thanks so much.
Just after this on Citrus TV, stay tuned for On the Bench and Orange Zest.
And tune in at 7:30 for an all-new episode of Talking Points. We'll be right back.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, Brendan, welcome back. So what can we expect tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, similar to this morning, let's take a look at your Citrus TV day planner for your Friday. We're looking at 20s throughout most of the day. However, it's going to be feeling like 15. And watch out for that wind with the snow. You might be seeing some snow squalls.
All right, well, thanks.
Thanks.
On this day in history, John Lennon was fatally shot and killed in his Manhattan apartment 36 years ago. Lennon was part of the sensation rock band The Beatles.
They disbanded in 1970, and Lennon left the music business for a while to spend time with his family. The artist was killed by a fan, but he is memorialized in a section of Central Park called Strawberry Fields.
And that's all the news for now. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Alex Amico.
You can check out Citrus TV News on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as on our website, citrustv.com. I'm Jackie Prager. From all of us here, have a great evening.